Cash Nation, I have just seen my most anticipated film of the year, Deadpool and Wolverine. The question remains, did it live up to my expectations?
This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching
They
powder?
know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even forest bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes, but I can't.
Cash Nation, welcome back to a brand new review of the channel. So today we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. A film that you will probably notice out of my athlete reaction, in part 2 of it at least, I crapped all over this film. 5 out of 10, average movie. Watch it at home on Disney Plus. That's what I said about Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm acknowledging that now because thankfully speaking, after 10 hours of reflection, I have had a lot of time to think and be like, I might have been wrong, and I sure as freak was. Now, before we get into that much more, let me tell you a couple things, okay? This is not a spoiler. This is just something to help better your expectations before going into this film, okay? Before you see this weekend, let me tell you a couple things. Number one, this film has no overall implication of the MCU. If you're going to this film expecting Infinity War, Endgame, a film with a lot of, things are gonna happen to the MCU, a lot of changes. It's like, oh my God, this and that happened. Not the case. This is basically a Deadpool movie with Wolverine involved. It's a love letter to the Fox franchise / universe, if you will. Now, there are references, absolutely. There are definite references. But this is not a film where it's like, if you don't see this film and you're an MCU person who likes to watch all the stuff that has to do with the MCU, otherwise you feel like you're missing out, you're fine, okay? I'm not telling you that you'll miss the film by any means. I'm just telling you that now so that way you don't think, oh my God, I wasn't able to watch Deadpool Wolverine, now I'm screwed. You're fine, okay? Number 2, please do yourself a favor. Watch the 3 X movies back to back as well as Logan. But let me add a little caveat to that, okay? If you're an emotional person, you watch Logan and watch this, you might be a little bit pissed off, but I can't tell you why, okay? With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Deadpool Wolverine. Now, let me get this out of the way. I said that the plot was terrible and the villain was terrible as well. And as I was thinking at work today, I was like, you know what? In all honesty, all the Deadpool movies have had pretty much a basic structure of a plot and an okay kind of weak villain, if you will. Now, to be honest, Cassandra Nova is a decent villain. She does a lot of menacing stuff, the way she's able to get into people's heads, if you will. And I'm trying my best to be careful of how I talk about her or the plot in general because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. But I did like her character a lot in the film. I loved how she saw certain things within both Deadpool and Wolverine and tried to do certain things to essentially get them to do her bidding in a way. I again, try not to spoil anything, but let's just say she's like, hey, I want to basically give you this idea so that way you'll do this alternative motion instead, if you will. I know I'm not going into detail, being very vague. That's for a specific reason, okay? Now, again, Cassandra Nova, she's probably the best villain. She's probably to be better than Juggernaut in the last film. She actually has a presence, has a purpose, has a motivation, and actually wants to do certain things, okay? You understand why she is the way she is and what happened to her character. And again, can't really talk about it, unfortunately, but all I'll say is this, is at the end of the day, I would like to see more of her in the future. I would. I think that, I believe Emma Corrin, if I'm not mistaken, is the actress name that played her, did a great, fantastic job. I loved that how she was very menacing to both, like I said, Deadpool, Wolverine, how she tried to do certain things. She basically menacing. There was one scene in particular that was really good to where she's basically trying to mess with a specific character and it's almost like you think for a second, oh my God, is this working? Is she actually winning the scene specifically? But thankfully, something does happen. It's like, oh, gotcha. Now the plot, there is more to the plot than what you know about. The trailer basically says that Deadpool is on a mission to save the universe because of a specific thing happening. There is more to that. All I will say is the fact that I appreciate how he wants to save the universe for a specific reason, and it makes complete sense. It's like, I feel this type of way. I want to change this about myself. I want to do something and basically have a purpose, if you will. Okay. Can't talk more about it. We'll talk about spoilers, I promise, in another video. Okay. Wolverine. Hugh Jackman. He just doesn't disappoint this film by any means necessary. Okay. This film is full of tons of action, comedy. Now, some of the bits for me did not work because it's just a lot of here going on. A lot of shots being fired at both, Fox and Disney, Marvel, whatever, Kevin Feige, if you will. And there were certain jokes that I said in my theater said as well, out loud. I was like, wow, he got away with that joke, this joke, and that joke, and I'm not gonna be able to repeat that because And honest to God, if we got more Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, I wouldn't be mad all about that, okay? And I love how there was a speculated theory about a specific scene in the trailer, and I won't give away what the scene is because I don't want to spoil anything for you, about how they did something with the trailer to basically hide something, if you will. And I was like, oh, cool. That's all I can really say without giving it away. I'm just being honest. The special appearances, the cameos, I'll be 1000% honest with all of you. I knew about 95% of them. And the reason I knew about 95% of them was because I'm on the internet, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter about every single day, a couple hours throughout the week, and you see boom, rumor pop up, boom, rumor pop up, boom, rumor pop up, boom, rumor pop up of A, B, C, and D character might be appearing in this film. And to be honest, to be completely and totally honest with you, one of the characters was confirmed, but the other 4 or 5, I was like, could be true, could not be true, because I did hear that Marvel did bought some leaks to basically throw us off. But there was one in this film, one cameo and surprise I didn't see coming, which I'm happy about. Okay, now the surprise in this film, if you wonder, okay, is the surprise good or bad? And it all depends on you as a viewer specifically. Okay, these are people that you haven't seen in the last couple of years. I'm not gonna spoil who it is, don't worry, I'm not gonna say nothing more than this. These are people, if you've been watching all the superhero movies, at least from the last 2000s to the 1990s, if you will, you're going to be going out your chair, screaming, crying, laughing, whatever. You're not gonna believe it. Because when I told my dad, Jaren, who I thought would be in this film, they're like, no way, get out of town. There's no way that's gonna, that's the reaction that they got, because I told them, like, there's no way it's gonna happen, and it did happen. Okay, now what they would make you very clear of, last night they posted a Twitter video them doing the premiere at SDCC. Please, for the love of God, do not watch that video if you don't be spoiled by the surprise in this film. Okay, now what they always say about the surprises is this: the surprises are just surprises of like, hey, how's it going? Bye. Hey, how's it going? Bye. It's actually them showing up, dialogue, humor, back and forth, and actually having a purpose for the story. Okay, the one thing I heard before going to this film was that all the cameos serve a specific purpose for the story. That is 1000% true. As to what degree, well, you have to watch the movie to find out. So what they always say is this: if you want to know, you have to do homework to watch this film or enjoy it. It's optional. It's appreciative. There are references, things talked about, mentioned, shown to you. If you don't, you're kind of fine in my eyes. I would say this much: if you, like I said, if you're an emotional person, sort of cries very easily, if you watch Logan for the first time, say today, and then Deadpool Wolverine, you might be a little pissed off. Just a little bit, but it's not for the reason you think. Just an FYI, it's not for the reason you think. And let me make this very clear, okay? They do not hurt nor tarnish what happened in Logan. It's referenced, it's talked about, but by no means in this film do they go their way to hurt what they did in that movie. They don't make fun of it. They don't really, they I guess they talk about it. It is talked about, it's mentioned and stuff, but it's not like crapping all over the film, crapping all over what happened and all that. Okay, that's not the case. Okay, if anything, this film adds more to that and helps make it better. And overall, I enjoyed this movie because it gave Wolverine an arc in which I can't talk about. All I'll say is we see Wolverine in this film. He is going through a lot mentally speaking in his head. Can't reveal why, can't tell you why, but all I'll say is this. We see him go from being in a really dark place in his mind to slowly coming towards the light and slowly becoming the person he needs to be, if that makes sense. Okay, and again, I can't explain what that means. You have to watch this film to find out. Or 10 likes, I'll do a spoiler review this Saturday. You're welcome, okay? Now, again, I give this film 5 out of 10. I'm here to tell you that it's not the case. This is not a 5 out of 10. In fact, I want to rewatch this film again and again if I could, okay? By the way, if there's wondering why can't I work, obviously, I work at Amazon. About 10-hour shifts every single day. And I'm watching Twisters this Sunday with Gabby, so that's the reason why I'm not able to watch it again, if I want to. But before I give you my score and give you my final thoughts, let me talk about this one more thing, okay? I loved a lot of this film. This is a magnificent, great film, okay? If you're walking to this as a pure comic fan, if you love Deadpool, if you love Wolverine, you're going to have the best time of your life. Okay, Deadpool, this guy is not nerfed. He is not muted. He is exactly who you want him to be, if not better. He is not on a leash. If you think for 1 second walking through this film that he is somehow not gonna cuss as much, not going to be dirty jokes, throwing shots at people or things, I can tell you right now that it's not the case. For the opening scene, he throws some shots. He says some dirty things. It's like, you said that? You got away with that? Marvel let you say that in this film about them? Brother. Now, Paradox, a character I haven't mentioned yet. Essentially, he's a key part of the film. He plays a very familiar role, if you will, something you've already seen done 1,000 times over and over, to be honest. And I can't really go too much into detail about him, other than the fact that there's something revealed in the very beginning of the film, early on, about what's going on really with him and Wade. Wade, has a reaction, and Paradox is kind of doing a little something, little boogeyman type crap behind the scenes. Again, I can't say anything more about than that, okay? So again, Deadpool Wolverine does have a basic familiar plot, if you will, but at the end of the day, if you love these two characters, if you love what you're seeing on screen, it won't bother you the slightest, okay? Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova, great performance, great character overall. I mean, could they have done better with her, added more to her character? Absolutely, but honest to God, that's fine with me. I want more from her. Maybe we get more from her in the future. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's a multiverse film, for God's sakes. I'm sure you could easily pluck another Cassandra Nova from anywhere and put it in another film if you wanted to, just to be honest. But to me, this film balances humor and action and story well, okay? So to me, Deadpool Wolverine is quite possibly not a 5, not a 6. Don't think it's a 7. I don't think it's an 8, but it could be a 9 or 10. Could be a top seller. I'm gonna give it to y'all. It's a 9 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10. It's a top seller. I had to give it 1 point deduction because, again, there's some jokes that didn't work for me, certain running gags, if you will, that didn't work for me, and there's a specific scene that I cannot talk about at all. I want to, but I can't. That's like, you could have added this thing here and made it so much more better. By the way, I want to give you a minor spoiler. Minor. Like, this is, if you don't know about this, you're fine. If you do know about this, fine. But it has nothing to do with the surprises. It has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with the plot. It's just a specific character that was shown in the trailers that people are excited to see. And I'm here to tell you one thing, okay? Now, if you don't want to know, skip ahead. But again, this is not going to ruin the experience of the film whatsoever. This has nothing to do with the film overall. Just one specific scene, okay? So, the small spoiler, minor spoiler to you, minor, is just the fact that Lady Deadpool does not have a reveal in this film. She's never unmasked. It's real in the credits who it is. But if you're wondering who Lady Deadpool is, you're walking in, okay, who is Lady Deadpool? Who is it? It's not revealed. Unfortunately, it's not revealed, okay? The post-credit scene. We'll talk about the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene is nothing out of this world. It is nothing mind-blowing, groundbreaking, nothing really new. It is simply something takes place in the beginning of the second act that's like something happens and something is basically accused of something happening, right? Someone is accused of something happening to do with something else. And the post-credit scene is just adding on to that scene. That's really all it is, okay? It's a running gag. It's a joke. It'll make you laugh if you like it. And that's really all there is to it. Okay. There's the trailer itself. You're wondering if it's spoiled anything for you. It doesn't. It doesn't. It really just shows you the minor cameos you get in the film of Sabretooth and Toad, who appear for a couple seconds. Really about it. And again, this film is fantastic. 9 out of 10, possible top seller, one of my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Do me a favor, please and thank you. Go support this movie, a freaking sap. And as always, Cash Nation, that's my review of Deadpool Wolverine. Again, okay story, decent villain, but great action, great humor, and great leads. And most importantly, hopeful return of Hugh Jackman Wolverine. So, Cash Nation, please do me a favor, okay? We are almost to 600 subscribers. We're at 576 subscribers. If you like my reviews, my updated reactions, and trailer reactions, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you for watching as always. Peace out, guys. Stay friendly. Do me a favor. Let me know in the comments below. How did you feel about Deadpool Wolverine? Did you dislike it? Did you like it? Why or why not? What was your favorite surprise? And again, 10 likes. 10, okay? 10 likes for my spoiler review of Deadpool Wolverine. We're going to get to nitty-gritty. Why I liked about certain characters showing up, the whole plot itself, Paradox, Nova, all the details, and much more. We'll see y'all then. Peace.